Support WrestleTalk!
Like us on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. Hi, I'm the other one, Luke Owen. This week's Smackdown Live was built around Big Show and Jeff Hardy returning for World Cup qualifying matches, as well as the Smackdown Women's Championship rematch between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And it seems like this has paid off in some way, with Smackdown Live ratings up slightly this week, pulling in 2.135 million viewers, up 2% from last week. Sadly, this is still down 13% from last year, though SmackDown was going up against the sports team game between the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox to determine the best local sports teams this week. I'm sure Elias will have something to say about it at some point. But more importantly are your ratings. I thought the show was smack bang in the middle and only 30% of you agreed with me, with a much higher 60% thinking it was smacktastic. Thank you to everyone who voted. Sadly, that's the end of the good news for WWE in this episode. A few weeks ago, it was reported that WWE stock had reached an all-time high at $91 a share, with some experts saying it could likely go over the $100 mark. Conrad Thompson said on a recent Something to Wrestle podcast that last year he was helping people who worked in WWE to broker a mortgage, and just 12 months later they were paying off their houses because the stocks were so good. But all good things must come to an end. It's now being reported that the WWE stock price has been heading in the wrong direction over the last 2 weeks, with stock now at $82.68 a share. While that may not seem like a massive drop from $91, it actually equates to a loss of $1 billion. More specifically, that equates to a $1.25 billion loss in market capitalization. What's interesting about this news is that a stock drop like this would usually come when a company makes a big business change or gets some bad press, something WWE hasn't really done or had in the last fortnight. Of course, this episode is being written and presented before we know more information about the journalist who is currently missing in Saudi Arabia. It has been noted by several experts that the stock market overall is down at the moment, which could explain the drop. And $82 a share is still much higher than what it was at the start of 2018, and a far cry from their current 52-week low of $21.22 a share. As WrestleZone note in their write-up of the story, WWE stock could drop another $40 and it would still be a huge gain for the company in 2018. Wrestling financial analyst Chris Harrington tweeted that $60 would appear to be the new normal stock price level for WWE, unless big deals come from the UK and India that wow investors. The UK one is certainly an interesting topic. WrestleTalk.com exclusively revealed earlier this week that the stars of NXT UK were all in London for an intensive performance centre crash course, with a rumoured press conference that could announce the long-awaited news of a TV deal. Should that wow investors, as Harrington put it, the stock price could raise once again. In some other bad news for WWE, the injury angle and Bobby Lashley heel turn with Kevin Owens from Raw this week might not have been a work after all. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer and John Pollock of Post Wrestling are both reporting that Owens is actually legitimately injured, and this angle was shot to write him off TV so he can undergo knee surgery. However, there are conflicting reports of how long Owens will be out for. Pollock writes that Owens is not expected to miss too much time, while Meltzer notes WWE won't know the severity of the knee problems until he goes into surgery. He adds there is no estimated time back because it is based on the severity of the injury and the nature of the surgery. And it appears there is some legitimacy to these claims that Owen is actually injured, as he's been removed from Mixed Match Challenge Season 2, with WWE announcing that a new partner for Natalya will be revealed next week when she takes on Mickie James and Bobby Lashley, which I'm sure will be interesting for all 8 of you that are watching Mixed Match Challenge Season 2. The show has been plagued with injury since it started, with Alexa Bliss being replaced with Ember Moon and Sasha Banks pulling out of the show to be replaced with Mickie James. As a special treat for the SWAF Nation, if you visit WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the discount code WTTV, you'll get a free autograph bundle in your first box, including a current WWE star, one from Scott Hall, and another autograph from Ollie and myself. WrestleCrate is a monthly mystery box full of loads of wrestling goodies, which has items from the biggest promotions in wrestling. Use the code WTTV at WrestleCrate.co.uk and get a free welcome gift. Ollie and I give our thoughts on this week's Smackdown Live in the latest Wrestle Ramble, which you can watch by clicking the video on screen right now. And click the image of Ollie and I to become one of our awesome pledge hammers on Patreon to help keep our weekly NXT reviews going. I've been the other one, Luke Owen, and that was wrestling.